get the symbolism? Did it convey the message? Or, as others are saying, it's a no-no. It's just simply a desecration of the freedoms that had been hard-won for. Others even saying, look, you cannot destroy a symbol that represents a separation from a past that many want to quickly forget. Let's talk about that now. Joined by the Brand Africa's Thebe Ikalafeng. Good to have you, Thebe, and thank you very much for coming on. The objectives of any communication, I suppose, are to reach a number of things, which I don't have to tell you about, and you would be able to articulate them far better than I would. But do you think the goals and the ideals of this particular campaign have been achieved?
No, I think what they've done exactly the opposite of what it meant. They have alienated the majority of South Africans with the communication, because what they've done, they've gone to attack South Africa rather than attack a political party. And unfortunately, I think they misfired this time.
What would you say could have been the thinking here, and whether or not there was enough, as it were, a feedback and bouncing off of ideas on what could be the possible outcome here?
I think the feedback was, so I think what they intended to do was to create some shock into the system. But what they also probably thought, sitting around the room, that the resolution at the end of the flag coming back to hold is sufficient for people to forgive them. But the mistake they made is that they forget that the flag has got nothing to do with the political party, that the flag represents South Africa.
If you were sitting in the advisory of the team that was putting together this communication, how would you have assisted them to make the same kind of messaging to say, well, governance is out of order? I mean, in simple terms, saying, well, country is on fire because things are not going right, without destroying this particular symbol of unity to many South Africans?
Well, if you go in all the streets in the country, whether it's the highways and the byways of the country, I don't see the flag of South Africa on the street posts. I see the flags of political parties. So if I were them, I would have said, you are against EFF, you're against ANC, you're against anybody who's not for you, so then go burn their flags. Because there is a stronger message that speaks to contestation rather than to confrontation with the bigger ideals of a united and diverse South Africa.
The messaging, others saying, is fear-mongering and reactionary campaigning, so to speak. Would you agree with that sense?
Well, I think so. I think it's fear-mongering. Matter of fact, I mean, they have done that. They've said it many times. I mean, they've said that the country will burn to ashes, and now they have literally gone on to burn the country to ashes themselves by taking the one symbol that represents the country rather than focusing on the issues. And I think that's where they've gone wrong from a messaging perspective. And I'm not even speaking this from a party perspective. I'm just speaking from a South African perspective. I mean, if you look at many other countries, I think in the US, there have been proposal of a flag desecration amendment to their constitution. Many other countries, you will be in jail for doing this. It's treasonous. I mean, you should not be touching the flag under any circumstances. You can touch anything but the flag, because the flag is a people. If you look at the 27th of April, 1994, what brought us together was the flag. If you look at 2010, what brought us together was the flag. So in moments of doubt, in moments of self-doubt, the one thing that speaks to the identity as a South African and the identity as a united South African is the flag of the Republic of South Africa. And the flag of the Republic of South Africa is a shorthand for the people of South Africa.
One might say, maybe giving them the benefit of the doubt, they got it wrong. But others are saying, no, they actually didn't get it wrong. They got it actually right, because they are targeting a particular voter. And they definitely sent a message to that particular voter, and that particular voter got the message.
Well, I don't know which particular voter they were talking about because it sounds like they've said to hell with all 60 million South Africans because that flag represents 60 million South Africans. If they wanted to target people who are aligned with the ANC or aligned with the EFF, it is a very clear target audience to focus your energies on, rather than something that can be so misinterpreted. I mean, some people are saying, I'm watching on Twitter, on Instagram, they say, oh, but you are focusing on, you are narrowly focusing on the idea and not looking through to the end. See, the ordinary South African there every day looks at within the first few seconds, the ad will make the point. And within the first few seconds, what this ad says, the country is burning, and the country that's burning is my country, and I am burning. And I take offense to that because I don't think I'm burning. But I may think that a particular party is not doing a good job, but I don't think the country itself is not doing a good job.
So, I mean, if you see outrage as a brand, how should you respond? I mean, Democratic Alliance seemingly says, look, it's false outrage. It's not something that that is actually that hectic. People are engaging with the topic at least.
Well, we're engaging with the topic not because we're saying, now here's a clever idea. We're engaging with the topic because we are outraged. Now, if I'm the DA, if I'm in their seat and this comes to my desk, I would take a step back and honestly reflect and say, the message that we wanted to put across was the ANC or the coalition of the ANC and EFF are not doing a good job. But we must acknowledge that we erred by using the flag of South Africa rather than using something that represents the ANC. I don't think the flag represents the ANC or the EFF. And I think that's sort of the fine line. And under no circumstances should you ever equate the flag of a country to a political party. I think they should. I think they need to be bigger and say that we erred in our choices and we realize that we made a mistake. But they're not going to do that, of course, because I think in their minds they have achieved the big goal of engagement, the big goal of disruption, the big goal of shock, the big goal of fear mongering. And I'm not sure that's how you win voters. You win voters by giving them an alternate solution to the current. Whether you are ANC or EFF or DA, you must rather put a much more compelling argument on the table rather than to make me fear the unknown. Tell me why I should vote for you. Don't tell me why I should not vote for the others.
Then there's the broader conversation, which I know you and I touched on a couple of months ago, but around national symbols like the flag and whether or not the response that this particular ad is getting at a government level is enough to send the correct message around the respect of those symbols.
Well, if you look at, for example, what we call national key points as an example, which are a no-go area, whether it's and you remember the reaction to the Guptas using a waterkloof and how South Africans reacted to that. They said, but wait, using waterkloof, that is our security point. There is a point that waterkloof or the airport speaks to a secure South Africa. If you desecrate that, we are putting South Africans at danger. Similarly, with the flag, I think what needs to happen is the country needs to, whoever's ruling the country, is the ruling party now, or the parliament, which is runs South Africa, they all need to look at this and say, should we not be putting in place stringent rules on managing and on securing those national key points and those national symbols, which speaks to what we fought for 400 years as South Africans to get to this point. Because remember, our fight didn't just start in 1948, and our fight didn't just and the victory isn't just from 1994. It is still a continuing battle for a better South Africa, for better conditions for all South Africans. And when they see that flag, they see a symbol of hope. They see a symbol of possibility. And for anybody to desecrate that, to me, I think it's sacrilegious and I think it's treasonous.
Thebe, Ikalafeng, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on